Yo, welcome back. So, oh, isn't it coming down? Here he is.
Ooh, spooky. Hi.
Yeah, so today I'm on a board change. So Nick did one yesterday which he filmed, and I filmed little bits of. So today's going to be my perspective of changing a board as an apprentice. So we've already ripped the tails out. So it's all, I've just got to take the board cover off, prove dead.
The real reason I've let Adam do this one is because if I stand up straight, Adam's fine. So it's a good little board. It's what we did in the ICR. You go through that. The ICR and obviously the stuff.
Yeah, so we did in the ICR, and what were the problems?
Now LCD protection, outside socket, bonding was too small.
Cracked lid.
Cracked lid, hanging off, the board's loose. There's loads of things.
Yeah, just needs a board change and general updating. You're coring out, extractor fan. What else do you do? 2D fitting.
2D fitting in the bathroom and just doing extractor. So I'm going to film that while you're doing this.
Yep.
This is Adam's. It's all up to him. This is his job, and I'll do as and what he wants me to.
Also, there's loads of midges everywhere.
Yes, there is everywhere. But yeah, you got the walkie-talkie, mate. Anything you need, give me a shout.
Right, so just pulled the board cover off, and this is what we're presented with. So it looks like we've got upstairs and downstairs lights joined. Probably got a shared neutral, so I'll have to put them back together in the same breakers. That, I'm not sure what that is, but it's a 1mm. Got two 2.5s and then three 2.5s in here, and this newer cable is the Wi-Fi socket, which just runs around there, and then it's literally around the corner, just poked up in the hallway. That's just a surface mounted socket for the Wi-Fi. It's been added recently by someone who's naughty for adding it into this board. So yeah, what I'll start doing now is I'll start taking these out of the breakers, or tail breakers, which if you're not sure how to do, you unscrew that little flathead screw, and then behind here there's another thing that pinches the cable, and you just unscrew that and then pull them out. I'll show you in a second. Alright, so just unscrewed that one to show you. So then we're presented with two screws which pinch the copper, holding that cable in place. So simply unscrew those two, and then the cable will pop out. And then it looks like someone's already changed. Well, I don't know what someone's done, but someone's already marked in the way that Nick does it as well, with the dashes. So what my plan is to take that board off, take this wooden block off as well, just to neaten it up, and then move the board slightly this way to give me more length. So where's that mortar line? Here. So put the top of the board along that mortar line, just so it will sit nice, and then the tail's going to end up about here, and it can just pop straight down into the bottom of the isolator. So I'll have lots of cable to terminate with. So what I'm tempted to do is when I pull them out, is just snip it off. So only, a centimetre, just snip it off so there's no markings, and remark it so I know exactly what's what. Right, so I keep forgetting to add things. So first tip I'd say for apprentices is, I know this ain't super organised, but organise what you need. So I know pretty soon I'm going to need red plugs, washers and stuff to space the board off the wall, because my plan is to do rear entry. Get my bag ready. It's got my strippers, hammer, stuff like that. Got my power tools, got them ready. Fire sealing, breakers, all I'm blinding you with the Unilight, tails, juice, cheeky little McDonald's this morning, fuse box, fitting this today. And then another thing, because we've carried out, I forgot to mention, because we've carried out an EICRE before, I've actually got the schedule, which we completed, when was it? It was a few weeks ago we did this EICR. So that's the reason for the board change. So on here, it's saying the first circuit is downlights. So that one I've just showed you how to take out, that's downlights. The next one is uplights plus cellar. So this one here, 2 1mm is uplights plus cellar. And the next one across is hall sockets. That's that new one I was telling you about for the Wi-Fi. Lounge sockets and plus the boiler. So I'm pretty sure that was had the kitchen in it as well. Oh no, I didn't tell a lie. So that just runs straight to the boiler. And then the fourth one is 2, so is it a ring? Does it say on here? No. We'll soon find out when I do my testing. But yeah, so we've got 2 in that one. So yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. It's only, I'm going to split, my plan is to split that and split, yeah, so I'll split them. So I'll have 1, 2, 3, 20 amps. If that's a ring, it'll be on a 32. If not, 2 more 20 amps, that'll be 5 20 amps or 3 with a 32. And then I'll split these, up lights plus cellar. Yeah, so I'll maybe split these to 3 6 amps, or I might just, let me see what breakers we've got, but I might end up having to put them back in if we've only got 2 6 amps. Right, so just ripped the board apart, took every cable out, marked them up. You can see there, so that was out the 2 out of the red breaker, which I believe is a ring. And then, so what I've done there is 4 dashes for the 2 that were together in that breaker, and then here that's got 3 dashes, that's got 3 dashes. That means they were together. The new cable, I didn't bother marking that because it's the only new cable in the board, so it's pretty pointless. I can just tell what that does. The whole socket, I automatically know that needs to go on its own 20 amp. And then the other ones, yeah, just match up. But it's always good to spend a few minutes now marking up. Right, so that's the board ripped off. So obviously you've got the new cable from the top. Found out this cable, which this was the cable that runs across there, up into the ceiling, all the way across. So the lounge is above it, and there's a socket in that corner up there, so that feeds that. So my plan is, once I've ripped this board off, hopefully the way the board lies, these will be able to pull down. Obviously I'll put nice neat bends on it all, and then do rear entry here, so this will be long enough to go into the back of the board. I'll just do some nice bends into the back of the board. But what I'm currently doing is, I'll just show you, which it just adds that extra touch to your board, is so all these cables, I'll show you this one, you can probably see it all over my fingers. It's like, I don't even know what it is, it's like cobwebs, dusty, mould, yeah, it's a bit of everything, this stuff. Not fun. So got the big wipes out, here they are. I'm just gonna get one in my hand, simply put it around the cable, just run it down once or twice, just to clean the cables up. So when they're in the board, it looks nice and neat. And another thing, the board is actually white, so you don't want all that stuff rummaging around, making the board look discoloured. Not nice. I know no one's going to be inside the board, but it's just nice for the next electrician. Alright, so just clean these up. I don't know if you can see, but massive difference from before. You can actually see the grey. So yeah, these are all clean. Also I'd like to add, so this earth cable running along to the incoming gas, I'm going to redo that with the 10mm, which is here. To update that. The water, also we're going to have a play with that. Upgrade the mains earth, because yeah, I think that's like 6mm. Upgrade that to 16. Right, so just whipped off the old wooden board, which had nothing on. So I've got lots of room here to play with my cables, loads of length. This one I've decided to make this bend better and make the bend fall here, if that makes sense. So I'll gain this length, so it comes straight down here in line with the other cables where they're going to bend down into the back of the board, so everything comes in uniform. Obviously this is just unfortunate, this one is going to come on the outside, unless, yeah, to be fair, I've just thought of a plan. So what I'll do is, as you can see, that one comes up there, comes down and round. It just depends if they're going to redo the ceiling. Yeah, I'll bring that down and I'll clip it across so they both join here, and then they both of them come down, and then I've just got cables coming down here. Right, so I finally decided what I wanted to do. So after looking at it all, I decided to pull that cable that fed behind here, because let's face it, it's not the best. A cable going behind this board, behind the main incomer, all that type of stuff. So I thought, let's reroute it since it come here. If the ceiling, I know there's people going to comment saying if the ceiling ever needs to be replastered, which I don't see it being done for a very long time. But if it does, then I was thinking of maybe putting a little bit of conduit to stick up, but I don't think it's really necessary here, because by the looks of it, this ceiling, yeah, it's all moist and damp. The whole thing needs to come down. So when that comes to that situation, we can soon rectify this. But yeah, so what I decided to do was clip it. So dragged it over a bit, clipped it nice, put a nice bend on it, join here, so they both run straight down. So now I'm left with 2 cables from the top, loads of length on them, and then these cables here, which will go in the rear entry. Well, all these will go rear entry. I'm gonna push these cables to the side, bend them out a bit, and get the board, eye it up, see how I want it, get the knockouts done, put the tails gland in, poke the tails in like we did yesterday, just to make it a bit easier rather than doing it once the board's on the wall, because you've got to give it some force, get the right bends. So yeah, I'll eye it up, measure it out, cut out the, not cut out, drill the holes with a 5/5 bit, put the red plugs in, and space it off the wall with some washers. But then I'll show you how to get the tails in, nice neat bends. Just like to add, if you're Apprentice and you want a really handy little tool, this spirit level from Stanley Fatmax is amazing, because it's magnetic, I said that wrong, sticks to the top of the board. Someone's car alarm's going off. Sticks to the top of the board, so if I just juggle this, let me grab it. So when I grab it and put it up against the wall, it doesn't come off. If I put it upside down, so really helpful rather than trying to juggle another thing whilst iron up your boards, or even little things. This comes in on second fixes for just when you're putting loads of sockets on, just quickly before you walk away from the socket, just put it on. Most of the time you can do it by eye, but just to double check, it's just a handy little thing just to whack on top and double check. Alright, so just knocked out the knockout for the stuffing gland. Yeah, tails gland, yeah, tail stuffing gland. So literally got 2 25mm knockouts and a 16mm knockout for the 16mm earth, 25mm neutral, 25mm live. And then also got 2 grommet strips. So with these Fusebox boards, they come with 2 strips of grommet strip, the buzz bar, and they used to come with a fly lead for the lid, but they don't no more. So grommet strip, it's as simple as literally, it's going to be hard one-handed and the board's the wrong way. Let me flip it on its back. So grommet strip, it's simple as I start in one corner, push it on like that, and then don't go all the way to the corner. I get it started on the vertical bit, like that, and then get it started on the other bit, the other horizontal bit, which is quite hard, and then get it started on the other vertical bit, and then, where's my screwdriver? So, apply pressure on the board, and then push the screwdriver into the corner, and it will pull the grommet strip into place. You need 2 hands really to do this. So what I normally do is put one finger there and then use my screwdriver to push into the corner, and it'll pull it all into place. But it's quite hard to do while filming. And then I'll just quickly show you what I like to do with the glands. So what I normally start with is, so I flip the board like this. So most main switches are always like this, and we only tend to fit Fusebox boards, so we always get into the same method. So neutrals on the right and lives on the left. So what you want to do is you want to get your live in first, so the left one, and what you want to do is push that, so they come originally like that. You just want to simply put your fingers there and push, and they'll come slide across. Sometimes that's looped over there, you just want to hold it up and then push it across. So get the live, push it through the gland, on the left side and then poke it behind here, exactly where my finger is. Sometimes you can undo these and bend these out of the way Nick likes to do, which I might do in a minute if they're getting in the way so I can show you. And then I normally get them here and then push them out. So I'll get to that stage and then I'll come back with you. Right, so I've just simply popped in the other grommet strip, pushed this through, making sure it goes behind the din rail. I want to call it a din rail, yeah, it's din rail. Obviously, a lot of the fully qualified spots are going to watch this thinking, oh God, he's done way too much, which it is. But I always find it's just easier to do it out the board, do the 4-finger method, which I'll show you in a second, and then just pull it back through. Like, there's no point making it hard for yourself when I can just pull it back through the other end, like it's not connected to anything. So simply what I'll do is 4 fingers. So if I show you like this, so there, and then grab it and then bend it like that. But I use my other hand and put that like there where my thumb is, just to get a nice, neat, sharp bend. And the aim is to get the bend so it comes up, so they both neutral and live come up uniform, bend uniform. That's the neutral in as well. So this one, I've bent it, so, and stripped it off. So on this one, once I've bent this, I'll show you how to strip it. But right, I'm back, finally. It's been about an hour since I've last recorded. So board's on the wall now, all level, spaced off. So it's not actually pinching the cables, even though it looks like it. It is spaced off with washers appropriately. So what I've got is nice, neat, 2 cables down is the right side, the existing cables on the left side coming in, new earth, plenty on that to go straight into the earth block, plenty on these to go into the isolator, on the isolator, which we'll do last. This is the main earth, so that's going to, got to put that in the right hand side here. So yeah, just gonna start terminating. Tails went in alright, it was just the 60mm earth, it was a right pain because I was trying to get it behind the din rail, behind there with the tails, but I was having none of it, so I've decided to put it in front. I'm going to bend it in that back corner behind these, that's why these are out, the neutrals, so bend it right back in that corner, get it nice and neat all the way behind this, and then a nice curl in into the earth bar. So yeah, and then I'll start terminating. Right, so just been upstairs to get the Mega off Nick. So what we're doing is we're just double checking that there's no rings like interlinked. So there's no rings at all in this house, they're all radials. So in the old board, if you can remember, there was the new cable which feeds the Wi-Fi socket, and there was these 2. So that's why I brought these to the right side. I'm going to start with the 20 amp breakers, then the 6s. So what I'm doing is, these all 3 were joined together. So I've tested between live and live and live, like all the different combinations using the crocodile clips on ohms resistance, continuity. Yeah, testing for continuity between the 2. Well, between the 3 to make sure they're not interlinked, and then also just to double check between them and the other 2 5 circuits. So there's no rings in this house, which makes my life easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 3 20 amps here, and they are going to be, well no, tell you, there's going to be 5. So 3, and there's going to be those 3 cables in each one, and then there's going to be another 2 next to it, which is going to be these 2, which, to be fair, we've got some blanks in the van. I might space them out a little bit. And then the 6 amps, they're going to go next. Tell a lie, I won't put the blanks in because the buzz bar, I'm not sure if they cover the buzz bar, those blanks. So yeah, I'm just testing. Well, I've finished testing now, there's no rings. So what I'll do is I'll start putting in the breakers and terminating them. Right, so first cable, I've stripped it by simply, I'll show you what I do. So I get my ideal strippers, probably, I'll show you the length. So what I like to do is push it down, I think Yeah, that's about right. Probably might strip a little bit more off that just so it's hidden by the breakers. Probably about there, so it's hidden. And then I'll tuck that down and bend it up, so I've got loads of room to play with, like cable to play with. And then I'll grab my earth, pull that to the side, like this one, so it's over here, plenty of room to terminate it. So get that out of the way. And then once I've done that, I'll click the breaker on like this, and then the fly lead for the RCBO, I'll tuck all of them, I'll tuck this way and down, and then I kind of grab my fingers under here and grab it, and you'll see it there. And then you kind of have to do the reverse of what you've just done and poke it back up the same way just to be able to get the nice and neat. So if there you are, you can see it. Can you see it waving around? So now when I grab that, and you kind of need 2 hands, grab that and put it in number 2. Because number 1's the breaker for the SPD. So yeah, once I grab that, it will make it nice and neat, and the loose slack will be behind the breakers. Alright, so that's 2 breakers terminated. So what I'm trying to do is the fly lead, I'm trying to get a nice swoop there, and then eventually when I get more, so when I get the other, how many more breakers have I got? Another 3. I've got another 5 breakers to terminate. Well, actually maybe 6, depending if I split that other one. So yeah, making these nice and neat, because that's the first thing you see when you take the board cover off. And then also the cables, I can't do anything about that one but it's going to be covered up by a breaker in a second. It's just at the minute it doesn't look the best because the earth isn't the longest, and I want a clean swoop to a 90, so I want it more like that. But I'll be able to get that in a minute once I put some more breakers in. But just make sure you get your cables nice and like the bend over. Like that one's still a bit, it's just quite hard to do it, but you just got to spend a little bit of time, make sure you get your bends over so they all look the same and they're all the same length. Right, so got one more 20 amp to go, but so far so good. All the earths I'm trying to keep nice and neat there, that nice little bend. Same with the RCBO fly leads, like I said before, keep them nice and neat. And then same as the cables, there is a slight incline which I could trim down, but it's just the way it's gone. I've not really noticed it till now, to be fair. So I might pull these out quickly and snip them down so they're all level, but that's just being OCD, to be fair. But it's all clear, it's all neat. This one's going to be fun, feeding this behind the earth lead and all the earths and all the other cables behind. So I'm going to try and fish that underneath, like I said before, and then poke it back up to get this nice neat finish. And then at the end, once they're all done, I can straighten them out and put a cable tie around it like that to hold it nice. Same with the earth, so once they're all nice and neat here, I'll probably put a cable tie there. So these 1 mils won't take long to terminate, it's just the 2 5s are a bit more fiddly. Right, so that's the board pretty much completed. So I'll just show you now. So still stuck to the keeping the earths all coming in there, which has worked quite well on this board because there's not as many circuits. If I had to fill up all these circuits, I wouldn't have, because I would have been stretching cables over this side. It wouldn't look as good. I would have started a new stretch from this side with the earths. RCBO fly leads, they're looking good. Yeah, tails are in good. Obviously, I've not torqued a screwdriver anything up yet because we're not done, but that's the main majority of the board done. Earthing, I've just got to do the gas, so replace this cable which runs to there. So I'm going to crack on, get that done, and go and have a look at the water and sort the water out. See if it's a not water incomer, plastic incomer, as the old one is only a 6 mil. So yeah, we'll go and have a look. I can't record in there because it's in the kitchen and the dog's in there. So yeah, I'll make a crack on the gas water bonding. Right, so managed to fish the bonding into the board. Just drilled all the holes ready to clip it. I'm using P clips, so it's a nice, secure, fasten to the wall. Fixing to the wall, that's it. So, yeah, the apprentice has joined me. He's on his phone.
I'm doing, oh, that's a camera. I don't want that. I'm doing the labels.
So, yeah. What I've done here is, I've come on the inside, kind of followed the same route as one previous, and I'm going to bring it up. So, up to there, and then just quickly put it on the new earth clamp. Right, so that's the bonding done. Just all connected up. Nice new 10mm.
That's nice.
Right, so me and Nick have just both done a bit here. So what we've done is fire sealed the board up, the back and the sides to stop the fire risk if there ever was a fire down here. And this is the board final product. So like I said before, these are all nice and neat. RCBA fly leads all nice and neat. And then, yeah, the bends all nice and neat. So yeah, and then these are the blanks that do actually click over the buzz bar, which I wasn't unsure about earlier. So yeah.
Nice, aren't they? The better. I prefer them.
Yeah, a lot safer.
What we do now?
So what we've got to do now is just finish off our testing. So that's why I've got that 20 amp off.
No, stop, no. Make sure you don't forget that again.
What?
Your lead.
Oh yeah.
We found that, and we left it here when we did the ICL. We found it earlier, so you're welcome, Adam.
Yeah, thanks.
Even though I just bought you some new leads.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, so we're done. We have figured out what that 20 amp does. Flicked it back on now. So that 20 amp does the 2 back bedrooms, and the other 20 amp does the rest of the house, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Apart from that lounge socket, which goes across and runs to there, which I showed you before. And I've rerouted, nice and neat. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!
Bye-bye now!